And welcome back, everyone, to Zanpakuto Creation Series. This one comes to us from Midnight Fox, who asked the question, what is Gwen Tennyson's Zanpakuto? Now, Gwen being, she's not half Anodite. She's more around the lines of like that's a good question. Max and her mom, Max and his wife is the full Anodite. That means their kids are half, which means I believe she's a quarter Anodite, if I'm not mistaken. But she is Anodite, which allows her to, affect mana in the atmosphere and around the world and use it for mysticism and spells and things along those lines. Now, if we translate this into Bleach, that means that A, her Zanpakuto, and because of her intellectual nature, she is undoubtedly a Kido specialist and a Kido type Zanpakuto. Her standard sword would be a katana, like most are. Her released Zanpakuto, the release of her Zanpakuto, is Glow in the Night, Rainbow Moon, or Nijisuki. Nijisuki. Its Bankai, Lunar or a Dance, is Suki no Ora Dansu. Now, her spirit, I do think, takes the form of just like a random woman of any kind. Maybe Reddit looks something similar to maybe her mother or something like that, or maybe even her grandmother in her youth. But in its Bankai form, would take the form of her Anodite form, because that's the full release of her powers. Now, the sword itself probably gains the same pink glow, and it's probably what her Ryatsu's color is, like this pinkish aura glow that just encompasses the blade. Maybe lengthens it. I also thought, going with the moon idea, that it takes the form of a staff similar to Khonshu's in Moonlight, where there is like a crescent moon on, like blade or something at the end of the staff. So and I kind of like that idea better. But what this Zanpakuto does is very simple. To convert the idea of her being an Anodite, or at least part Anodite, in mana, this Zanpakuto just constantly absorbs Reishi from the area, similar to kind of like how a Quincy does it. And she's able to use this to strengthen Kido spells. The Zanpakuto is literally an aid for her overall abilities with Kido. A little similar to Hinamari. Why am I blanking on her name? Hinamari? It's not Mari, I think. What is it? For some reason, I am blanking on her name. And I'm not even blanking on her name. I'm blanking on the pronunciation on her name. I've done her Zanpakuto Tobayume multiple times. Hold on one second here. Shinigami it's Hinawari? I want to say there's an M in there though. And the Y is okay. Hina. Momo Hinamori. That's what it is. I keep want to say Wari and Mari, but it's Mori. Momo. Momo's is not a straight Kido type, but it has Kido applications. This is a straight, use the Reishi to strengthen your Kido abilities, as well as, fire off an energy beam, do some basic stuff. Now, the Bankai, though, when she, holds her staff right and just says, Bankai, that basically what this does is the staff itself becomes Reishi. She still holds it, but it's got this almost like lunar effect to it. And essentially what this allows her to do is literally create Kido spells. Similar to how Uehara's Zanpakuto restructures anything it comes in contact with. This Zanpakuto, literally, it's up to your imagination. You can modify spells to your desire. If you're smart enough to create something, you can. This Zanpakuto also is greatly feeding on the environment as well. Much actually very similar to Soya Azashiro, whose Zanpakuto Urukuzu, or I'm blank. One second. His Zanpakuto's name is come on. Yeah, the spirit, the one behind him is the spirit of his Zanpakuto, which apparently looks like his sister, apparently. Soya Azashiro. And his Zanpakuto's name, his Bankai's name, we actually don't know his Shikai's name. Shikai kind of doesn't do much. So he's actually always in Bankai. But his Zanpakuto's name is Uruzakuro. That's what it is. And it literally fuses him and his inner world with the entirety of the environment. So he can literally affect is capable of fusing with other people, just letting attacks phase right through him. Like, only energy absorption attacks really affect him. I could see this Zanpakuto being a very different variant of that, where this Zanpakuto is constantly feeding on Reishi in the environment. And this just allows her to strengthen her Kido spells, but also allowing her to essentially make something up, just make it up off the top of her head. She's just had ideas. I can see her spirit being very, curious about, well, have you tried this? What if you tried this? Add this to this, mix these two together. What do you got? Like Donku and like do like a Donku mixed with a Kirohutsuji, Black Coffin. Do that. Like, I could see just a lot of fun things being done with Zanpakuto like this. However, I think there would be an inherent weakness. She has to deactivate the Zanpakuto, or it will just to continue to feed on Reishi in the environment. Like, it could theoretically break down the entire Soul Society, the Hueco Mundo, even the human world, because in Worlds of Reishi, it's just constantly consuming it. It's just constantly hungry. And she has to open, and the longer she keeps it active, the harder it is to deactivate it, because the Zanpakuto is more or less just feed me, yes, more. So it is a very dangerous Zanpakuto to activate for its Bankai, because you would have to be careful on how long you're using it for. Otherwise, things are going to get out of hand. Now, that being said, this Zanpakuto does carry weaknesses. For example, it is absorbing Reishi, but it itself is not immune to Reishi absorbing moves. The Zanpakuto especially the Bankai, could be absorbed by something like Imajika's Zanpakuto, or redirected by Sogiona Kotowari. It's also not infallible. Despite the fact it's feeding on Reishi, it's not her power. It's not like it has something, it's fused with the whole Soul Society and her Ryatsu just goes to god levels. That's not what it is. It's just got a constant source of Ryatsu to feed off of and Reishi to feed off of. So anyone with higher Ryatsu will still be able to overpower the Zanpakuto. And despite the fact that she can create Kido can still be countered by a superior tactician. So she still has to be careful about that. Otherwise, I think this is a really cool, unique Zanpakuto for her, and it works well with blending her actual character and backstory into the Zanpakuto and the Bleach world. This is my opinion, though. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.